We're going on a cup run. That's right, boys. Going on a cup run. Let's find out. It's Wembley time. Maybe, who knows? Let's go on a cup run and see what it's all about. Spit and bars. Welcome to another episode here in the 442 Rebuild. We've got Wrexham. There's been a change of plans. Are we going on a cup run? Let's run that intro and let's go find out. Yes, YouTube, no more singing, I swear. But welcome back into another episode. 80% of you are new around here, and just for the fact I sang in a YouTube episode, you should hit the sub button and really help the channel out. Also leave a comment about how far you think we're going to go in the Cabarro Cup. The season, though, has been going exceptionally well. We sit 8th after 9 games in the Premier League. The plan was to give you the end of November against Palace and against Sunderland. However, we sit in the 4th round of the Cabarro Cup. We play Wrexham, who are doing pretty well in the Championship. I would imagine they are. 11th in the Championship. They're doing okay in the Championship. They have a lot of money and a good squad and should be coming up to the Prem shortly. And I think we've got an opportunity to give you a 4th round game and a potential quarter final in the Cabarro Cup. And could be going on a cup run. We win both the games. The next episode after that is the semi-final of the Cabarro Cup. So let's go find out. However, let's recap how well we've done. Last episode, we had Liverpool and Chelsea where we drew and we lost. We also played Grimsby, which started the cup run, and West Ham 3-3, which was pretty good. Since we last met, though, we beat Leeds 6-0. We looked exquisite in this game. Poor old Leeds is the team we've battered the most on this save. And we have a goal to show you because Amin off the bench scored this wonder volley from a corner that got headed out to him. And what a strike it was. As you can see, McGuinness is the corner here late doors. And just watch Amin here. Bang. Top bins on the volley. Eat your heart out. Gets over the ball. Great technique from the man that is our 3rd, 4th choice. He's only got 11 technique, but he finishes like that. That's pretty good. We had a fantastic time against Leeds and then followed it up with a 1-1 against Burnley. We beat Barrow 3-1, so it's not like we've played anyone of note. We've got Grimsby and Barrow. Lost the Spurs 1-0 at home, but continuing on the theme like we were against Chelsea and even against Liverpool in the game. The 4-4-2 kept them in the game. We had decent possession and we had decent amount of chances. If on a different day we could have scored. We then beat Birmingham 5-1, ladies and gentlemen, 5-1. There were some injuries and I rotated and got Devon Wrench up into the midfield line because he can play there. One of the reasons we signed him. And I think it's the second goal. It's something special. We got 2 bangers to show you. That technical volley is fantastic, but this is just next level. Ball comes out to him and he doesn't even think about it. First time, half volley, top bin. Boom! Love every second of that. So he's looked really good too. And we obviously then played Man City expecting to lose. We won 1-0 at home. That was down to Henderson, 8.4. And even better news, ladies and gentlemen, has no more interest. We've signed him on a new deal. He does have a release fee for only 30 mil to clubs in the UEFA Champions League. Bit annoying, but he locked that in. That's perfectly fine. He was looking pretty good in net and is doing superbly well, Mr. Henderson. It's part of the reason we're probably so high in the league at the moment. He's doing fantastic at the moment. We then played against Everton just recently, last game out. We lost 3-0 in a game where we had 20 shots, 8 on target, 2.32 XG. Pickford having an outrageous game, and we conceded to a couple of headers in this one, which was annoying. But Everton are above us in the league and beat us with 11 shots, 7 versus our 20 shots, 8. A little bit annoying. As you can see, Everton are in the 4, and we currently sit on 8th with 12 points. The Data Hub also agrees that we should be in and around this position. They actually think we should be 6th. With 2 goals over our XGA. We're right with 2 goals over our XG. We're right on our XGA. But we played pretty well with a good defensive numbers. We're busy, but we're having a pretty good defense. We're pretty clinical in our shooting, and we're pretty middle in terms of our conversion rate for and our conversion rate against. Also scoring a high number of set-piece goals, which is fantastic as well. Exactly what we want to see when you're managing Stoke City. So today we have got Wrexham in the 4th round of the Cup, and if we get through this one, we'll also give you the quarter-final in today's episode too, as it doesn't look like we're going to be anywhere near a relegation battle, and we should be surviving mid-table easily, which was the main goal of the save to get us established in the Prem. And look, with that being said, we'll get you into the first highlight of the Wrexham game. Highlight, Mbabu, Bosnijek, and we will rotate the camera quickly as Madsen and Mbabu. It is a rotated team I did field. I feel like the back four is a really good back four, and Strun Larsen is come back from injury, needs match fitness. David, ball in, and there is Bosnijek, who, by the way, has been performing really well this season. Pellegrini and him, direct comparison, 8 goals, 3 assists, 8 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. He's looked pretty good, and Pellegrini, who's on our bench today, had the injury, only averaging a 6.72, has not scored or assisted yet this season, which is not like the numbers he had last season. Anyhow, the rotated team, because it's got a pretty good back four that needs minutes and a backup keeper that obviously needs to play. Didn't play Tommaso, though. Thought this game would be a little bit too hard for the 21-year-old under-21 goalkeeper from Italy. But, pretty good start. We're 1-0 up here early doors with a rotated side. Highlight from kickoff with Doyle going on a run and hit, and wow, the backup keeper's had a mare. Straight down the other end, shot that was pretty tame, and Bursic lets it in easily. Not good to see from the backup keeper. His stats are really good. He should be a really good shot stopper. What a run from Doyle, and then first time effort, and he just parries it into the net. Not good enough at all, 1-1. Time ticking towards half-time, and as you can see from the match momentum, wow, corner Wrexham. Headed and cleared off the goal line. Lopez puts it wide. Wow, that was a bit nervy. I was about to say, match momentum all us right until the end of the half. Wrexham really should have scored then. It's 1-1. It's a nervy affair. And the backup team looks like they're having some trouble. And I can half understand it. When you look at the team, right, it's good to give him minutes, but Rigo's not really good enough. Bassi is good enough. He just needs the minutes, hence why I'm playing him, right? And Milanov's not really good enough as well. I still think this back four is fine, and the keeper on paper is pretty decent. Like, he'd be a pretty good championship keeper. So, yeah, very odd that we're having a bit of a stinker, but it is what it is. I am going to make a couple changes, though. Rigo's going to come out, and we're going to get straight to Anton, who's our club captain, and get him in to steady the ship. Milanov for McGuinness as well at halftime, and the rest of the team can go out there second half and redeem themselves for what was a lackluster performance, to say the least. I was about to make a change here. Wrexham have had the better of the half, but we haven't had a highlight. I'm going to make the change now anyway. It is David who picked up a knock for Borja, and I am going to bring Pietra in for Bosnijek, who's picked up a yellow card, and we'll leave one last change late doors just in case there is an injury. But hopefully we just score from the corner as McGuinness can whip one, and he does. It's cleared. Strun Larsen back to McGuinness. Can he find a cross? Bassi. Down he goes. Nafari says nothing. Oh, wow, it's so lucky. Bosnijak's effort has taken a deflection, another deflection, and through Ward, and we're 2-1 up. 67 minutes played. I can't believe that's how we've had to score. I might move into the defensive system and try and see it out here against Wrexham. I thought it took a deflection from number 8. It hasn't. It's just taken a deflection here. To be fair, I think he has to touch it because Strun Larsen probably steps in and nabs it home. But yeah, 2-1 up. Can we see it out? 95th minute, there's a highlight here. Weird place to start in our own box, but cleared. Can we win the ball? Madsen does. Anton. McGuinness. We are on the defensive 4-4-2. McGuinness can beat a man and whip it, hopefully. And he does backstick. Pellegrini's there. That's his first goal this season. It's 3-1. We're through into the next round of the Cup. The rotated team has won. It wasn't straightforward. It was a little nervy. But in the end, we've won. And the defensive system doing its job and seeing out another game, which is perfect. Typical 4-4-2, whip a ball in, Pellegrini backstick. 3-1 to the good. We're through to the next round of the Cabarro Cup, and that is delightful. Official confirmation, 3-1 win. Statistically, a very dull affair, but we've managed to score 3 goals from 4 shots on target. And yeah, we only gave them 0.63 XG, and most of that XG came from all the shots off target, and the goal that went in from Bursic was a low XG chance that he's made a mistake for. I will say in the quarterfinal, we're probably going full strength as we try to make a semi-final for the first time in the save. I've never sweated a Carabao Cup draw before, but the League Cup quarterfinal, let's see who we can get. Straight off the bat, we want Preston North and a Stockport County. Leyton Orient as well. Man, the dream would be getting Preston North End and then seeing Leyton and Stockport get drawn together, and then you win and you get them in the semi, and then all of a sudden you're at Wembley for a one-off final. Oh boy. Anyhow, Joe Hart, do us a favour. Off we go. First out of the hat is Leeds. To be fair, I would take Leeds. Our record's really good against Leeds. And we do get Leeds. Wow, that's awesome. Preston North End against Leyton Orient or Stockport. Fulham, ouch. Stockport? Oh, no. All the big sides are going to go. We can make it a semi. We've got a good draw, but. It's going to be a pretty hard semi-final. Oh, man. I had to sneeze and I can't edit it out because I can't redo the draw. But, it's going to be a pretty good semi-final if we get there. And we got a pretty good draw to make it. And that will be the next part of this episode. A bless me. Say bless you down in the chat below. Leeds United, Ellen Road, a chance to make the Cabarro Cup semi-final. Let's recap how the season's going. And as you guys can see, we're firmly in 10th position, mid-table in the Prem on 22 points. If we look a little bit more deeper here, we've had 6 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses, so pretty even. And our goal difference is only +7. The reason why I bring this up, if you go to the Team Data Hub, we have been a little unlucky. If you look at the XG table, we should be 5th. We're 5 goals above our XG, which is great, but we're 4 goals. 4. That is correct. Number 4 over our XGA, which kind of highlights that we are absolutely copping it when it comes to defensive, stability. There's been a lot of games that I've watched trying to get to this semi-final. I'm like, how are we not won or how we've conceded? It's been a little weird. We're actually 3 points under where we should be at the moment as well. If you put that all together, we'll be in and around 5th and fighting for Europe. And I do think there'll be an uptick of form. We have one of the better attacking data in the league though, but as you can see defensively, we're starting to slip into that busier pack. All we need, though, is a couple clean sheets and we will swing back the other way. We do give up a lot of chances in the attacking 4-4-2, though. I would love to see us move down into this section, but I don't think that's going to happen. In terms of results, since we last met, though, interesting to say the least. We beat Fulham. We drew to Fulham 3-3 in a game that was a little bit interesting and crazy. As you can see, we had 23 shots, 9 on target, 3.65 XG, and drew the game. So that's pretty annoying when you play so well and you draw the game. We then lost to Newcastle 3-2, which is a game we should be losing. It was a fairly even game. To be fair, we outperformed our data a little bit. We then beat Sunderland 5-1, and I am over the moon with that, but we scored 3 goals from the 80th to the 90th minute. So it wasn't looking like we were going to win this game comfortably, and then we did. Important to note, Jamie Lawrence has started to score goals from corners this year. He's got 3 corner goals. It's taken him a whole season to start scoring from corners, and he's 6'7", which is a little annoying. But yeah, we played pretty well. The goal of this run for me was this one here by Pellegrini, who won Player of the Month. So after a really slow start, has come into his own. As you can see, Strun Larson, Watson, McGuinness, backstick ball, good header from Pellegrini. We love a headed goal. It was a bit more better movement, but I also know that we don't want to spend too much time looking at all this. We then also beat Crystal Palace, who were newly promoted, but again, only scoring 2 goals with 2.25 XG and 10 shots on target was annoying. It, however, was a good win. We conceded to Sarabia, though, in the late doors. We beat Brentford 2-0 to keep a clean sheet finally. That's our first clean sheet since the Manchester City game, so that is a handful of games you guys can see without a clean sheet. And then we surprisingly lost to Ipswich 3-1 at home. We did not play well. Ipswich had 5 shots, 5 on target, 0.5 XG, and scored 3 times. Very annoying. It was just a game where Henderson, who's been fantastic for us, dropped to 6.1, and he looked absolutely horrendous. Should never have lost that game or conceded 3 goals. We then went away to Forest, and as you can see from the team, we did fully rotate because I want to go full strength for this game here against Leeds, and we copped it away from home. We both had the same amount of chances with very similar XG, and again, we had 1.4 XG against us. Or, a lot of the time we're conceding anywhere between 0.5 to 1.5 XG, which is not bad. For whatever reason, Henderson's forgotten how to keep since I've loaded into Football Manager this morning, and he's now conceded 27 in 15. Important to note, there were a couple of players. I did mention Pietro Pellegrini did go on a run of form over the last month with a couple of braces, as you can see through here. And he's gone from being no goals, no assists in 6 appearances, to now 5 goals in 13 and over a 7 in match rating, which is pretty good. Jevon Simmons is developing, is looking quite nice, and he's got 6 assists now in the league, which is important. McGuinness is the one I want to speak about. I've re-signed another new deal. We We did one this season. He got unhappy and he only wanted to lock in a 22 mil release fee. I was annoyed, but we had to do it. Then as soon as it let me put in another contract and he locked in a 33.5 mil release fee for clubs in Europe. Annoying. So again, we're going to try and get through January and then look to re-sign him on another deal. And even if I have to do this every 3 months to up it to 40, 50, 60, I don't want to lose for anything less than 50 mil if we do a 4th season here. Outside of that, though, that's how the team kind of looks. David Watson, important to note, finally, at the 4th time of asking, gets to possess long throw chase. So if you just keep working on it, it will happen. And he's having a pretty good season. And we haven't scored a long throw yet, but that's perfectly fine. What we'll do now is cut into the highlights of the Leeds game. And if we do get through, we'll also go and see who we'll draw in the semi-final, which will be next episode if we win. We have a very good record against Leeds, so we should be winning this game. First highlight, Simmons goes short to Devon Wrench, who fires just wide. He obviously scored a fantastic goal recently, but still 0-0. And it's a corner 38th minute to Jevon Simmons. We got some tall timber as always. Doesn't find one of them. Konsa, Jevon, back to Kwanzaa, and that's a goal with his feet. Didn't expect Kwanzaa to score with his feet, but we do lead 1-0 right before halftime here in the Cabaret Cup quarter-final. Great to get that goal against Leeds. Usually against Leeds, what happens is this: we get a goal and then we slap 3 or 4 past them. Good 1-2 here between the two boys, and a pretty nice finish from Kwanzaa. He has good technique. I think their keeper should do a little bit better, but we are 1-0 to the good, and there's a highlight from kickoff. A bit annoying here. It's our first shot on target, that one. We've had about 5 shots already as we win the ball back with Jamie Lawrence. Yeah, that was our 6th shot, first one on target. So nice to score. Pietro Pellegrini, good ball to Jevon Simmons. He's away, cuts at the Strun Larsen. What a ball from Jevon Simmons. And just like that, 2 goals in a minute and a half of football. And we go from being 0-0, looking like it's going to be tied at halftime, to a 2-goal ascendancy. Watson with the ball to Pellegrini. Great ball to Simmons. He keeps himself onside due to the centre-back at the back stick keeping him all on. And Strun Larsen hasn't been missing too many, and he scores a fantastic goal. And that is 2-0, and more than likely bringing us into half-time. And as you can see, it has ticked away, and we are leading at half-time 2-0. And hopefully there is not too much to report in the second half. Picked off by Anton in the middle of the park to start this highlight. I've also just brought on a few of the guys here to rotate a little bit. We do have Arsenal in a few days, and to get some developments. That's a ball and a half to Bosnijek. Oh, what a ball from Strun Larsen. Him in the complete forward is a creative dynamo. He, in terms of numbers, because you guys probably want to see his numbers this season, 8 goals, 2 assists, 4 player of the matches at 7.3. He's been great in the Cabaret Cup. This is his second game. But yeah, he just looks so good. This is what he does. He just drops in at feet, picks up the ball. And as I said, he's a Stoke City striker because of his height and ability in the air, with the well-rounded spiciness of being able to play defense-splitting balls. This complete forward on support makes this system. And what a ball. Bosnijek, what a finish. And we're 3-0 up. Corner, Joe Harrison. Time's ticking away here. Good claim from Henderson. I am in the defensive system. If I do that, you'll see that. And just trying to see the game out, which is pretty good. Ball goes long. And as far as the Leeds defenders, and they'll sweep up. If they score now, a little bit nervous, and I'll be a little bit annoyed I went defensive and we conceded, but would be pretty consistent with what's been happening this season with us and clean sheets in football. But it is what it is. Calvert-Lewin probably should score. Takes a slight deflection. He does score. If there's another highlight here, I swear going defensive after being 3-0 up has brought them back into the game. There shouldn't be another highlight. This system's usually really good. I'm just really annoyed we have conceded. It would have been nice to keep a clean sheet, but it is what it is. Time is ticking away as they go 4-2-4, and the defensive system's done enough to see the game out, so we shouldn't really complain too much. That is a great win. 18 shots, 6 on target, 3-0 to the good. Game killed off by the time they did score their consolation goal in the 90th. A highlight from kickoff would have been a little bit nervy. But we are in to the Cabaret Cup semi-final. And here is the Cabaret Cup semi-final draw. We're going to get straight into it. The teams left are Chelsea, Fulham, and City. If we want to make the final, we obviously want Fulham over 2 legs. If we draw Chelsea over 2 legs, it's obviously a lot easier than City, even though our record against City is better than what our record is against Chelsea. what I would say here, if we get Fulham, we'd probably make the final and then lose the final, but it would be nice to be in that position anyhow. Let's find out who we're going to get here to end the episode. Chelsea come out the hat, and it's Man City, so we do get Fulham. We do have the first leg at home, so that's pretty interesting, which is quite nice. If we scroll down here, we got 2 games in January to give you a Carabao Cup semi-final first and second leg. So next episode, we're going on a cup run. That is definitely what we sang earlier, and now we will go into the next episode dreaming of Wembley and a final. Will we beat Fulham over 2 legs? We'll go find out. If you want to find out, hit the sub button and be notified of when the next video drops. Give the episode a like. Thank you yet again for being here. And until next time, goodbye.